While making entries into a patient's history screen utilizing the Add New MRE feature, it's possible to add items such as super items or groupings or packages of items of bill items and MREs that are attached to one another. For instance, if I type in the word dental and select the item called Dental Package Canine and OK that, the next screen that pops up will be the listing of those components that make up a dental cleaning. In this case, the catheter, the anesthesia, the actual dental cleaning, fluoride treatment, etc. are all grouped together and will flow directly into the animal's history as well as onto the invoice. This screen provides the ability to edit the list. For instance, if there's an item that we do not need, we can deselect that item and it will not flow into the animal's history, nor will it flow onto the invoice. If indeed we need to enter a quantity, for instance, if the anesthesia took longer than we anticipated, it can be edited directly on this screen. Even prices that are adjustable can be edited on this screen. Upon clicking OK, each of the items will flow directly into the animal's record. As we can see now, every component of the dental package has gone into the animal's history, but has also dragged an appropriately identified bill item onto the invoice. All medical records entered into DVMax contain several components. In this case, we can see that the code of the item that we entered is applied to DVMax, as is the quantity of that particular item that was performed. The staff person who performed or provided that item is also listed, as well as the date that this item was performed or entered into DVMax, and the time of day that it was performed or entered into DVMax. Below is a text box, into which any amount of notation may be entered by the providing party. If it becomes necessary to review records from some time ago, in this particular case an examination performed in October of 2007, it's possible to double-click on that entry, permitting us to read the text that was entered on that date. Notice that the text is in locked format. We cannot change, alter, or edit it without such a change being time and date stamped and annotated to the fact that a change had been made. This provides you with evidence of an edit or alteration to your record, or lack thereof, should your records be required in a court of law. Should it become necessary to hide an entry from DVMax, meaning an item that you entered inadvertently, it is not possible to delete the entry from DVMax because that would be akin to tearing a page out of a medical record. But suppose we did not really perform a fluoride treatment and therefore we need to remove it from the invoice as well as from the animal's medical record. To remove it from the medical record, we would hide it from the list on DVMax's medical record screen. It would also be appropriate to hide it from any printed history, because if we print out the history, we would not want to show items that were really not provided to this particular patient. This will not remove it from the invoice, but will remove it from the history. Doing this will function much like putting a line through the item on a medical record, meaning you're not tearing the page out, you're not deleting the item, you are simply putting a line through it to indicate that it was a mistaken entry. Up until this point, we've been reviewing the patient history screen in this manner, where each individual medical record entry can be seen individually, and in order to review what is written associated with each of those medical record entries, we would double-click on those. However, DVMax has another valuable way to review the patient history, and that is to click the Text View button. This assembles all of the history into a different format looking more like a written record, with the diagnoses, any comments on the record, any reminders or recalls that are listed, and then medical record entries, each individually associated with the time and date stamp, as well as the name of the provider of each of those services. Any comments or findings that were made for that item are also shown. This is a great way to review the record before walking into an exam room, or even while you're in the exam room providing new services for this patient.